Hi everyone, Sandra here from the Schwowin's Nest. Today I am participating in Nicole Northgarden's Get It Done Challenge. Nicole does a lot of trash to treasure home decor DIYs, but she mostly loves to do thrifting. Her videos are so much fun and she finds the most amazing things. If you have not seen her channel, please go over and check it out. I will leave her link in the description box below, along with the playlist link for this challenge. Nicole's idea for this challenge was for us to find something that we have been procrastinating about and get it done. So I have been wanting to paint my bathroom cupboards for the longest time. It's probably been about 4 years since I've redone the paint and everything on the walls and done a new look, but now it is time to get rid of this bleached oak that is so 90s. First, I've got to take out all the hardware, and that's really easy to do. These knobs are something that I did replace about 4 years ago, so I'm going to keep them. They're going to tie in really nicely with the new color that I'm using. This is my favorite cleaner to use in my home. It's 50% Dawn dish soap and 50% vinegar. It works really great for showers and for getting crud and soap scum. I'm also going to be using this scrubby sponge. I'm going to use the dark green side to be able to help get rid of any crud, any hairspray, any other type of products, anything that is stuck to the cupboard doors. And then I'm going to use a white cloth just in some warm water and rinse the soap and vinegar off. Then they'll need to dry, and I'm going to let them dry for a good hour before I start anything else. These are the products I'm using. I'm starting with a Kills primer, which is a stain blocker. So I'm going to be putting that on first and then letting it dry. And then I'm going to move on to the paint that I have left over. I've got so much paint in my basement, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to use this. It's Bare Premium Plus paint in a semi-gloss, which will make it really easy to clean. I used some newspaper and painter's tape to protect my floor. So this primer is an oil-based primer. So the brush I'm using is something that is been around for a while. It's a cheap dollar store brush. It's one of my older brushes. So I decided that I'm just going to give it a toss into the garbage once I'm done with it and not worry about using Varsol or turpentine to clean it up. While I was painting, I noticed that the texture and the consistency of this paint changed every once in a while. And then I realized that the oil was separating from the product itself. So every 5-10 minutes or so, I took my stir stick and I stirred it up again really nicely to make sure that everything was mixed together and the product would work the way it was supposed to. I let the primer dry for about 2 hours and then started with my latex paint. The color I've chosen is a light gray, and the brush I'm using is from the dollar store. It has really soft bristles and it really helps to not show the brush marks. Altogether with the drying time, it took me about 4 or 5 hours to complete this project. I did the front of the cupboards first, and then when they were dry, I opened them up and did the insides of them. You might be wondering why I didn't take the cupboards off the hinges. I just thought because this is such a small project to do that it would be just as easy to paint them this way, and it actually was. I did have to sneak in behind the cupboard doors a little bit to get the trim, but it all worked out in the end. Once these cabinets were dry, I did a test run of the paint technique that I want to do on them. This is what I want to achieve with my cupboards. This is some gray chalk paint, and I've done my dry brushing technique on here to give it a weathered wood look, and I'm really happy with the result. So the first thing I did was take some of the country gray chalk paint on a very dry brush, dipped some in the paint, and then dabbed the excess off onto a plastic bowl. Then with a very light touch, I'm going in the direction of the grain of the wood and adding my dry brush strokes. With this paint technique, you want to make sure that you don't push the brush too hard onto the cupboards, because then you'll get more of just a painting rather than the dry brush effect. My cupboards have the texture of wood. They had some grain in them to begin with, so I was really lucky. I'm able to just get this really nice effect without too much effort. Dry brushing is a nice technique to use, and if you want to layer more colors, you can. You can go and do 2 or 3 different colors to get some more dimension. You can stick with one color like I'm doing. One thing you need to remember is you want to make sure that each layer of paint is completely dry, otherwise you'll get more blending instead of the wood grain look. The last step is to seal it with a clear coat of your choice. I'll be using Rust-Oleum Clear Matte Chalk Paint Sealer. I'd like to thank Nicole for hosting this challenge. It gave me the motivation to get it done. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and share my video. Subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell to get notified when I upload new content. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope to see you again soon.